Hi, I'm Sally Dick, the Interim Bishop of the California-Nevada Annual Conference, and I'm here to welcome all of you to these pre-conference briefings and the orientation to this year's annual conference. Whether you've been to annual conference many times or it's your first time, in some respects, every annual conference has some of the same things, but every annual conference is a little bit different. As a clergy person and a bishop, I've been going to decades of annual conferences, and you know, I think all of us would say that we probably have some of our favorite aspects of annual conference, because you see, annual conference has various things that come together to make these sessions important to us for inspiration, education, for direction and vision setting for our whole region. So some people really like the worship, especially people who come from smaller churches. Sometimes the singing can just be so inspiring. Some people love to come to see friends, old friends, and make new friends. So it's the fellowship. And, you know, now that we gather in person, that can happen even more so. Some people come for legislation. Yes, really. And they love to be able to talk about the things that are important to them. Sometimes they're social concerns, sometimes they're the governance of the annual conference, but they have a desire to make sure that we come together as the churches and the lay and clergy delegates to decide who we are and what we do. Other people, they like some aspects of the annual conference that have to do with all kinds of just hearing what other churches are doing. And so no matter what your experience of annual conference has been, like I say, this year is always a new thing. And indeed, we want to give witness to a new thing as the people called United Methodists in the California-Nevada Annual Conference. People have asked, so why do we have to get together in person? You know, I could save a lot of money. You could do it more efficiently. Well, I think as we're beginning to come together in person, we're finding that, you know, thank goodness, we could come together virtually to do work, to continue local church work, annual conference work, district work, general church work, boards and agencies during the height of COVID. But something really special happens when people come face to face. And as some of our great Charles Wesley songs remind us, it's when we see, are we yet alive? And we see that, you know, we all move on in life. I mean, we see our friends' children grow up since the last time, and we see how probably some of us age, but maybe I'll just speak for myself. And, you know, we are able to just have that kind of synergy that comes by being face to face and with each other. Conversations happen around the edges at annual conference, like many meetings. And you know, some of those can be the most important. Hey, what are you doing about children's ministry? Hey, what are you doing about this or that? How are you doing hybrid services? What's your platform? You know, some of those kinds of conversations can be what we take home and are so glad we went to annual conference and discovered. So, you know, as we come together to witness a new thing, let this year be a new thing for you. Come with an open heart, come with an open mind, come and know that God loves you so much. And God loves all these other people too, whether we agree with them or disagree with them. The strength of this annual conference right now is to come together and be in harmony with each other, in spite and through, and giving witnesses to our togetherness in love. See you there.
Hi friends, my name is Hannah Woodland and I am the Communications Associate for the California-Nevada Annual Conference. I have the joy of sharing a few details with you regarding this year's annual conference session in June. We will be gathering Thursday, June 15th to Sunday, June 18th at the Safe Credit Union Convention Center in Sacramento. When you arrive to the convention center, you will need to check in and get your name badge. To do so, you have to be registered before arriving. Registration is open now through June 1st and can be found on our website, cnumc.org. We are starting on Thursday, not Friday this year, so here are a few highlights of our Thursday agenda. On Thursday, the Retired Clergy Association will be having their annual luncheon. RCA will be welcoming 21 new members at annual conference this year. Thursday will also include the laity session, led by conference lay leader Michelle Pope, as well as the clergy session. Our keynote speaker throughout the conference will be Reverend Rebecca Simon Peter, who joined us virtually last year. We are thrilled to have her join us in person to inspire us with her timely message. Raised in the Jewish religion, Rebecca is an ordained United Methodist minister who saw a vital need for boldness within congregations and their communities. Rebecca works to empower church leaders to unite and grow their congregations through creating a culture of renewal. We are so looking forward to what Rebecca has to share with us over the course of annual conference. Over the last few weeks, I have had the distinct honor of sitting down with several people across our conference to discuss some highlights of our upcoming annual conference. I am so excited for you all to hear what to expect and what to look forward to directly from these folks. I hope that these clips will help you feel more prepared and excited for our upcoming time together. I am here with Mike Harrell. Mike, I'd love if you could introduce yourself.
Sure, happy to, Hannah. My name is Mike Harrell. I am a pastor in our annual conference, currently serving as the assistant to the bishop.
Wonderful. And Mike, what do our attendees to annual conference this year need to know about our health protocols?
So this year, with the lapsing of the state and local emergency orders around COVID, the commission on the annual conference made the decision to stop the vaccine mandate that had been in effect related to COVID for the past 2 annual conference sessions. And so that will no longer be a mandated requirement for folks that are attending annual conference session. I think we still, definitely encourage folks to be vaccinated, but it will no longer be a requirement. And then also encourage folks to continue to mask when we're together. There is the possibility that the space we will be in this year, the plenary space, will be smaller than it was before. We may need to build out some of the side rooms that we haven't used so that we can have on-site legislative sections. So if we end up doing that, then the plenary space will be smaller. So we'll have to be sitting in closer proximity to one another, which makes the masking component all the more important this year. And then in addition to that, we're just asking people to use common sense. And if they're, feeling ill, either prior to annual conference session or even while they're there, that they take steps to either not come if they're feeling ill beforehand, or isolate themselves if they start to feel ill while they are at annual conference session. We'll have supply of masks on hand for folks, and it's always a good idea. The current reality is anytime you travel, take some self tests with you and just have those on hand in case you get to feeling poorly, and you can take responsibility for yourself and check out your status as far as COVID goes.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Mike. It's so important that we all are aware of this so that we can gather and we can gather effectively and really get to be together as fully as we can while still being safe. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Hello, JB.
Hi, Hannah.
We are here today to talk about our app for annual conference. How exciting. So JB, what do we need to know about the app?
Well, we need to know that it is going to be everything you need right in the palm of your hand in your smartphone.
Love it.
And yeah, it's going to be streaming the session. So if you step outside and still need to see it, you can do that. It's going to have an updated schedule. So if there's any kind of notifications, you can get them right away. And it'll have the legislative packet link. So just from your phone, you hit a button and you get that legislative packet.
That is so handy to have.
It really is.
So yeah, how do our attendees get this app?
Well, that's the good thing. It's really People say easy, but you know what? We have found that some of the hardest things for people to do is to remember their password. So you're going to have we can use you can use the Apple App Store, or we can use the Google Play App Store, but you can't use that unless you know your own password. So first homework for everybody.
You have to be able to download apps on your phone. If you've never downloaded an app before, you're going to have trouble downloading this one.
So, you know, upright. So once you get into your app store, you want to search the name of our platform, which is CVent, CVENT. And it'll actually be called CVent Events. There you go.
Okay. So you need both in there.
Yep. You need both in there.
All right.
And once you download the app, it's because a lot of people use this app for other business things. So there are other events in the app. You want to search for our event.
Love it.
And it's a really long title, but you don't have to print all of it because it should pop up before you get to the end of typing.
And our event,
Our event. It'll say what event you want, and you'll type in 2023, 2023, spacebar.
Yes. Yeah, you can't just type it in as one big word.
Yeah, no.
Use your proper grammar.
Yep. 2023, spacebar, California. And if you just get to the O in California, it'll already pop up. And it'll say 2023 California, Nevada annual conference. And then you will click that. When you click that, it may need buffering or some time to get.
As it downloads. Yeah. And you can check too, it will list the date underneath the name. So if you're not sure if it's our event or not, just check the date. It says June 15th through 18th, then you are in the right place. You have found the right event. If it says some other crazy dates, you have not found it, keep looking. You were in the wrong place.
And you will have to download it. Up in the little upper corner, it'll have a little arrow, and you're like, what do? You download it.
Yep.
And then it comes onto your phone. So wherever you are, you're going to have that app on your phone, just like your other apps.
And you only have to search for it and download it once, correct?
Yes.
Cool.
Yes. Then it's there. So you can do that today at the during this meeting. If people will let you, you get your little phone out and you can do that. Yes. However you download apps. But you can do that right now. And you can play with it, experiment with it. There's maps, there's a COVID statement in there. Some of the stuff's not all there, but there's a lot of links in there that you can discover. And so that's kind of cool. There will be, it'll want you to accept a notification option. You don't have to, but you can. And we may be using that option to notify you of upcoming things. So
and
we'll media be on there.
We'll keep updating it from now until the end of the conference. So it'll be your up to the minute updates, just like if you pulled up your laptop and went to the website.
Yep.
So, but it's in the palm of your hand. It's in
the
your
palm
pocket,
of your hand.
In your purse.
All Methodist, all ACS right there.
With you. Awesome. Well, hopefully people will get this downloaded so they can start playing with it. They can ask us questions now rather than when we're in the thick of annual conference. But we're excited to see how this app can do and really get to play with it and let it be a great tool for everyone. Yeah.
And we'll be on the floor conference helping.
Of course.
But you can do this now. So no reason to wait.
Yes. Yeah. You can do it now. Get some help if you need it.
Yes. Go to Hannah.
Phone a friend. Call Hannah. Yeah. I can help you get the app.
Your grandkids.
Yeah. Whoever helps you with that kind of thing. Awesome. Well, thank you, JB.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I am here with Angel Rivero. Angel, I would love if you could start by sharing a little bit about your role within annual conference this year.
Sure. I am the co-chair for worship on our conference commission on annual conference session.
Awesome. And what is your focus? What service within the worship are you taking on?
I am working with Reverend Lori on our opening worship and remembering our saints. So we are fusing together two of our traditions of opening worship with communion and our memorial service where we remember clergy and clergy spouses who have passed away.
Awesome. And so that's a little different this year. What should people be expecting? I know this is a service that a lot of people really look forward to. So yeah.
Yes. So our Well, to begin with, we're having our invited guest musicians, the Many, which is a music group, a worship group out of Chicago, leading us in all our services. So we'll be meeting them at that time for the first time. And then also we'll have a time led by the Committee on Native American Ministries to do a land acknowledgement. We'll remember our saints. The Reverend A. Luna Garza will serve as our preacher, and Bishop Sally Dick will preside over Holy Communion.
Awesome. And with that service taking place on Thursday night, and that'll be taking place not at the convention center, correct?
Yes, our service will be on Thursday, June the 15th at 7 p.m. at Sacramento First United Methodist Church.
Awesome. Well, I know we're all really looking forward to it. I know this is a really special service for a lot of people, so excited to see what you guys come up with and get to experience it. Thank you. So today I am here with Lindsay Belker. Lindsay, what is your role within the annual conference?
I am one of the co-chairs of worship for the annual conference session.
Awesome. And what should we know about this year's commissioning and ordination service? What should people expect?
This service is going to have everything. There's going to be commissioning, there's going to be ordination, there's going to be deacons, elders. It's going to be a great service. It's always the highlight of the annual conference, at least for me, like watching our new colleagues step up, inviting in new clergy into the fold, and really getting to celebrate the way in which God is doing new things among us. So it's going to be on Saturday night at 7 p.m. and I hope everyone will be there.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We are looking forward to it for sure. I am here with George Dominguez. George, what is your role within the conference?
Hi, I am the Executive Director of Connectional Ministries for the California-Nevada Conference.
Wonderful. And what can you tell us about how the Committee on Native American Ministries is going to be featured at annual conference this year?
Well, you all remember that for the last 2 years, we had significant discussions at the annual conference session about the Native American ministries in our area, particularly all of the conversations regarding boarding schools and the findings of some violence that happened in the past, both here in the US and in Canada. So our annual conference approved a suggestion, a recommendation by the Native American Ministries Committee to investigate our history, our conference history in involvement with boarding schools. Last year, they presented a preliminary report. It was an opportunity for us to hear about their visits to all of the Native American churches, to listen to the leaders and to the communities about their experience. And they continued that process throughout this last year. So they will bring to us on Saturday their final report on the boarding school issues in our area. And will share with us their findings as part of our way to acknowledging the hurt and the harm that these communities suffered for many years in those institutions, and how our church is actually responding to that.
Absolutely. That's such important work. So I know everyone will be really looking forward to hearing an update on that. And will we be doing anything else to kind of feature and put a spotlight on our brothers and sisters in Native American communities?
Well, you probably heard that there will be on our opening service a land acknowledgement that we recognize the Native nations that lived in the Sacramento area that we are occupying at this time. And besides this moment of sharing of our CONAM, of their findings on the boarding schools issues, we will celebrate on Sunday the service on Sunday morning, in which the offering of the annual conference will be collected and designated for Native American ministries in our conference to support those communities and the ministries that they are doing with Native people in those areas. The service on Sunday morning will be led by Bishop Brown, who will be with us for that last day of the annual conference. and we will be collecting our conference offerings, which in past years have been responses to some urgent needs and also some opportunities for new ministries. This time, we will collect this as a way to respond concretely to these findings that we are getting from CANEAN on the Native Americans boarding schools that happened in the past. So we invite all churches to contribute, to be ready to provide the actual concrete response through our offering for Native American ministries on Sunday morning.
Awesome. I think that'll just be a great way to put our thoughts and our work into action and really show up. So thank you.
You're welcome. And I look forward to seeing all of you in Sacramento in June.
Awesome. I am here with Diane. Diane, I'd love if you could introduce yourself and explain what your role is at the conference.
Hi, my name is Diane Knudsen. I'm the conference treasurer. I staff the Council on Finance and Administration and the Conference Board of Trustees.
Wonderful. And what can you tell us? What should attendees expect about the budget presentations and legislation this year at annual conference?
The conference budget for 2024 will come as a budget recommendation from the Council on Finance and Administration. Reverend Dr. Kristen Stone King will present the budget.
And will we be hearing any updates on the ongoing situation with the Boy Scouts of America?
I believe that there will be a report. I'm not sure if it will come from me or from the Conference Board of Trustees, but we will give you an update on the Boy Scouts of America bankruptcy.
And of course, the big topic that's been on everyone's hearts and minds, disaffiliation. Will we be hearing more about that during annual conference?
A bit, yes. We expect to have 6 churches requesting disaffiliation of our annual conference this June. And so our Conference Board of Trustees will be meeting and we'll be submitting the legislation, one piece of legislation for the disaffiliation of all 6 of those churches. And so when you see it at annual conference, it will be one piece of legislation and you'll take one vote, either approving them or not approving them. Mm-hmm. That's the only vote allowed by an annual conference session.
I am here with Sam Yun. Sam is the chair of the core team. Sam, I'd love if you could tell us a little bit about what that role means.
Thanks, Anna. So yes, I am the chair of the conference core team. If you look at the website, there's actually a lot of information about what we do on the website. And of course, in our standing rules, there's a full description of what the core team is responsible for. What's interesting is that when you go to the website, you'll see listed there kind of the core members of the core team, the voting members. We have 10. We have myself, the secretary of the core team, as well as 4 mission focus area conveners. And right now we have 4 members at large. So we have a pretty solid and full team. And these are just amazing people, great leaders. But in addition to the 10, we also have our cabinet, the district superintendents that are on the core team as ex officio members, of course, the bishop. We have members from CFNA, as well as the incredibly hardworking staff.
Yeah, so much good work. So how is the core team going to be kind of highlighted, featured at annual conference this year?
Yeah, so my understanding is that on Friday afternoon of annual conference, our core team will be making a full presentation of, again, what we're calling the strategic vision articulation. And it will really outline kind of what we've been doing in terms of setting that strategic direction for the years to come for California, Nevada annual conference.
I am with JC Pickens-Jones, Associate Director of Intergenerational Ministries. JC, I'd love if you could tell us a little bit about what your role is within annual conference.
Sure. Yeah. So I will be helping organize and kind of herd our youth and young adult delegations that we'll be having at annual conference. And this is a great opportunity for our young people to be engaged in the work of the annual conference. They get a voice, they get a vote, and they get to help kind of direct where the annual conference is headed as we move forward. And so we'll be kind of rallying them around getting engaged in what it means to be a part of the annual conference and allowing their voices to be heard and really empowering them, because, you know, they're not just the future of the church, they are the church now. So that's kind of what my role will be in that. And as part of our time at annual conference, we're hoping to do a few new things this year to help bridge the gap between our young people's delegations and the other delegates at annual conference, so that they can get to know one another and have, you know, conversation, you know, you would say across the aisle really, but just, you know, across the table as we're coming together as the body of the church. And so a couple of things we're hoping to do is kind of like a bingo scavenger hunt sort of thing, where each youth will have a sheet that has different squares in it, like find someone who's been in ministry for over 40 years, or find a lay delegate who this is their first time here, and, you know, have them initial your paper and have a conversation with them so you can get to know the other people who are here serving as well. And then we're also hoping to have an ice cream social on Saturday at some point, so that, you know, the youth and young adults have had a couple days to talk to the other delegates, and then hopefully that'll kind of pique people's interest in coming and getting to meet the young people's delegation along the way. Plus, everybody loves ice cream, so it's a good thing to come together.
That's true. That's true. We all love ice cream. Well, that's awesome. I can't wait to see what our youth and young adults get up to at annual conference. I know it's a highlight for a lot of people, is getting to see the work that our young people are doing. So super excited. Thank you, JC.
Great. Thank you.
Out of an abundance of caution, the Commission on the Annual Conference has decided that for our 2023 gathering, childcare will not be provided. Here today with Mark Wharf. Mark, would you tell us a little bit about yourself and your role within the conference?
Sure. Thanks, Hannah. I'm Mark Wharf. I'm a retired pastor in the annual conference, and it's currently my honor to serve as our conference secretary.
Wonderful. So Mark is here today to talk to us a little bit about all of the fun, kind of administrative, all of the things that everyone always gets confused about. So Mark, I would love if we could start with kind of an overview on the conference rules, standing rules. What do we need to know about that?
Good. Well, as I like to say, they don't call us Methodists for nothing. We have rules, we have policies, we have procedures. And the rules for our conference process, our rules of order, are printed in the conference journal, starting on page 208 in the 2022 journal. So if you want to brush up on that before we get together in Sacramento. Almost as a postscript, our rules state that Robert's Rules of Order, newly revised, shall govern proceedings of the conference in all matters herein specified. Now, people get kind of clinched up about Robert's Rules of Order, and unless you watch C-SPAN 12 hours a day, you might not be the world's greatest expert on Robert's Rules or parliamentary procedure. But not to worry, because our annual conference session this year will be presided over by not just one, but two of the most profoundly gifted presiding officers in the United Methodist Church. Bishop Sally Dick and Bishop Warner Brown have earned the admiration of their peers for their excellent gifts as presiders. They have an uncanny ability to help the body accomplish what it wishes to accomplish. They have both presided over sessions of the General Conference, which is an indication of their skill level. Mm-hmm. And if they find it necessary to consult, seated right behind them on the dais is our conference's extraordinary parliamentarian, Paul Ekstrom Fernandez. So we're all going to be in good hands.
Due to time constraints, we've only included the most important information from my interviews with Diane, Mark, and Sam in today's video. To see the full interviews, as well as the standalone versions of the Bishop's Welcome and the app walkthrough, please visit our website, cnumc.org, and go to the annual conference page. The interviews will also be uploaded on our YouTube, CalNev UMC. Thank you for your time.